morning, sports fans. ASMR Sports back up in your business. This is one I've been looking forward to for a while. About a week ago, I got delivery of 3 of these bad boys. There's the other 2. So this box here, which has a bunch of Japanese on it, is the newest Pokemon set called Paradise Dragona. And for those of you unfamiliar with Pokemon, you can hear a little bit of music in the background. It's relaxing music, so I'll just let it go. But Pokemon sets from Japan come out quite a bit earlier than their counterpart sets in the US, and oftentimes it seems there's like more sets in Japan, so what is one set in the US might be 2 different sets or different releases, in in Japan. However, this set is going to have cards in it that will eventually end up in US/English sets when the corresponding US sets get released. So having these it's kind of like Bowman cards. Like Bowman cards give you early cards of prospects that will eventually have cards in Topps flagship stuff. But this gives you kind of a preview of cards that you'll see eventually in the US before they get to the US, so it's kind of fun in that way. And I've never opened any Pokemon, never mind a Pokemon set that has cards in it, that have not shown up in the US yet, so I'm pretty excited about this. One thing, though, that's kind of difficult is there's not a lot of sites that do price tracking of Japanese cards. There's quite a few that do price tracking of English sets, so you can go and see what the top most valuable cards are. There are some that do Japanese and US cards. However, I've checked all the ones that I'm aware of, and they do not have any significant data for singles out of here. So I've kind of figured out which cards are most valuable, like the top 5 or so most valuable in the set, just from looking around a bit. But other than that, I don't know values, and I guess if it's not one of the top 5 cards, it's probably not terribly valuable. But anyways, if you've never seen a Pokemon Japanese box, this is what they look like in that wrapping that I took off. It doesn't have any of the Pokemon ball, anti-counterfeiting, I guess, stamping that the US boosters do. However, you can see they're sealed in this other way. Though not very tightly. So theoretically, you could sneak some packs out of there. But it does have this, this paper kind of seal, like you'd see on kind of food packaging. I'm going the wrong way here. So other differences in the Pokemon Japanese stuff are, the size of the boxes. The boxes, I think these have 20 packs, which is a very unusual number of packs by US standards. Usually things in the US have 24 or 36 packs. I guess maybe you couldn't really sneak any out of there because I got these flaps. So the packs are quite a bit thinner. They only have I think 5 cards in there. So they're very, flimsy. Presumably significantly less costly than US packs that have 10 cards in them. So, I'll count. I have 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. Okay, so maybe there's 30 in a box. 30 in a box, okay. Still kind of an odd number by US standards, so yeah, so it kind of strikes me as a lot of packaging for very few cards, because there's 30 packs times 5 cards, it's 150 cards. I want to tear one of these open to see kind of how difficult it is. I think this thing at the top is supposed to be, easy to tear. I'll probably cut those because that's pretty loud. But you can see the design on the back of the Japanese cards is different than in the US, which always has the blue design. It doesn't have these 4 symbols. And of course the fronts, are in Japanese, so that's quite different. Yeah, so I was thinking, I don't know, I might like take the hits that I get. Oh well, right out of the gate we get a hit. I'm looking at a website that I have it up, and this one's listed at $7. Although I think the pricing is highly suspicious on the one I'm looking at, so I just use it for kind of relative values. But if that's worth $7, that's a pretty nice hit. So I guess I haven't talked about cost, which is kind of a big deal. So your average, booster box of U.S. products or U.S. Pokemon sets, which has 36 packs and 10 cards per pack, so it's 360 packs. When those boxes come out, they usually, retail at about $100. MSRP is always higher, which is sort of silly, but nobody ever pays that really, except some goofballs that go to Pokemon Center, the official Pokemon site, and then spend like twice as much as they should have to over there. But these boxes are again 150 cards as opposed to 360, so less than half the size. And I paid for this box. Actually, get a good deal on these. I got them for about $45 in each, plus about $10 shipping for all 3. So it was like $48 all in, roughly 48 and change. And man, the hits are flying out because I see another one here. So $48 per box. These are maybe a little bit more expensive actually per card than the US ones, the English ones. I'm doing the math in my head right. Alright, look at this guy. Little smiley face with a crown. See if I can click on... Ah, yes, I can. So I can see the names on this site that I'm looking at. This one's called Execute. Bunch of eggs. This one, let's see if I can find it. Tell you what the name of it is. Yep, there it is. This one is called Alolan Executor. So is that another play on eggs? And that one is listed at $6.40 on the site I'm looking at. But again, I think that's probably off, so I'm gonna probably look those up. But 2 packs, 2 hits. I feel like I've heard that like the Japanese packs have a lot of hits coming out of them compared to like US packs, but I feel like that can't be true. Otherwise, they would be more expensive. I don't know. Okay, just a regular hollow coming up. Okay, very cool. I feel like to have a whole wrapper for just 5 cards is like super wasteful. Like one also is listed at about $7, $6.94. It's called Appleton. These all look really nicely centered too, so I feel like, you know, if one were to grade, I also feel like with the border here, that's like a gradient instead of a firm, solid line. Like in the U.S., it maybe like it hides the off-centering, if any, a bit better than the U.S. or the English cards. So there, for those who are curious, you may say, well, okay, there's Japanese, there's English. Are there other kinds of cards? And yes, there are. I don't know if I've ever seen Spanish cards, but there have to be Spanish language cards. And I know there's like Korean, and I feel like one other Asian country has cards, in their own language as well. So there's lots of foreign languages you can get. Oh, we got a visitor. I'm gonna pause. One sec. All right, and we're back. Gotta look through these. Yes. So wow, yeah, I realized how long is this video? So it's only been 11 minutes, but I feel like it could take a long time just because there's so many packs in one of these. And I gotta say, if we keep going with the hits at this rate, I'm probably gonna open like all those boxes, but maybe they front load them. So strangely, I feel like the most valuable card in this set is a trainer. It's called Licia's Appeal. It seems to be like over $100. Which, if I got that one, I would sell it in a heartbeat because those are generally kind of boring to me. Alright, well, we'll definitely slow down on the hits, but that does not surprise me. Oh. I am kind of... Oh, we got something. Look at that. That looks like a Lugia, if I'm not mistaken, but let's see if I can find this particular card. Yeah, this is, no, it's Curum EX. So that one's at $6.40 as well. It looks like a shiny too. I don't know, do they make like if they make this, do they make this card like as a non-shiny and then shiny is like a variation? I haven't quite figured that out. Like, are all shiny cards just always shiny? Or is it like a parallel like in sports cards where there's some with and some without that shiny? Look. Maybe I don't understand what shiny means. Mushroom guy. Okay. By the way, this one was, I think, another like $6.40 card. So, you Pokemon heads, I'll talk about something else that I've been seeing a lot of content on YouTube about today, which is that allegedly there's been a quote-unquote reprint of another product. Wow, another cool-looking full art. That's is that an art rare? It says AR, I think that's what that means. Man, I love this stuff, you guys. I'm only gonna buy Japanese. I'm gonna have to learn Japanese. This one's at $6.94 as well, it says. Again, I can't believe these prices, but even if these were like $3 a piece, I'd be pretty happy. But I feel like they might not even be that. But anyways, the news out of Pokemon today, actually there was a bunch of TCG news because there's some Magic the Gathering stuff that happened too that I'm not super familiar with or interested in, just because I don't really do a lot of Magic. Although, who knows? Who knows what I might get into. But on the Pokemon side, they allegedly did a reprint of this set that's, very popular. I think it's a couple years old now, but it's called Paldea Evolved, and it's got some nice cards. It's definitely a set that I think a lot of people like, and so its value has been going up and up and up in the last few months. And then apparently, I think like only one distributor that I'm aware of, ended up with some of these Paldea Evolved cards, and they like made a bundle that you had to buy if you wanted to get the booster boxes of them, which is exactly what my distributor has done with, sort of when they get some high demand sets in stock after having not had them in stock for a long time. But my distributor actually did not get these Paldea Evolved boosters that I'm aware of anyways. And anyways, so like people are saying that's a reprint, and I'm like, okay guys, I don't know a lot about printing and manufacturing, but I know enough that Pokemon is not contracting with a printer to print up like, basically a hundredth of the original size run of product, so that they can give them to one distributor, and then that distributor can like trickle them out if you buy thousands and thousands of dollars of other crap that they're trying to get rid of. Like that seems so unlikely and illogical and insane to me. But this seems to be what happens. I mean, people were saying 151 is reprinted because like one distributor, which happened to be my distributor, sold like a $3,500 bundle of a lot of like kind of crappier but still decent Pokemon stuff that I was happy to have, because I don't really have a lot of Pokemon stuff. And then you get like you get like a display of Pokemon 151. So people were saying when that happened, and for months before that happened, that set 151 was being reprinted. I'm like, really? This is what you guys call a reprint? You guys are all crazy. These Pokemon collectors, man, they're crazy. They think everything's a reprint. I feel like, one guy goes to a Walmart that's been freshly stocked, and he sees a bunch of new, product there, and he's like, oh, there's been a reprint. I literally feel like that's what's going on when people are talking about reprints here, and I'm like, this is insane. Like, it's crazy. It's like, no, your distributor got, a little bit of extra allocation from the manufacturer, or they found it somewhere. I mean, distributors are always like working the market to find, stashes of stuff they can bundle together, or like, have you buy at inflated prices. I don't think they can do the inflated prices thing with Pokemon. That's why you see these bundles, because the distributors can't just jack up the price on high demand products. They basically have to figure out another way to make you suffer in exchange for getting the hot products that they, find in the open market. So they put these bundles together. You gotta spend $3,500 to get, one $200 display of Pokemon 151. And anyways, this all seems just very natural to me, and, similar to what happens in sports card distribution, but you don't see people talking about reprints of sports cards ever, because we're all sane, and we know that's not what's happening when some shows up at some mysterious time, 6 months, 8 months, a year after it's originally come out. This one is called ACE, A-C-E. I don't know. 475 according to my chart. So anyways, I don't know. I might actually just be completely wrong, and in fact, Pokemon, sort of has issued letters to the public in the past saying we are about to fire up a new printing contract to print up some old sets. We are going to flood the market with a bunch of stuff and cause everything to crash. They may have done that, and I'm just not aware of it. That's possible, but I actually think I don't think any so far. Again, I've only been watching the Pokemon market for 4 months or something. But in that time, every time someone has said, "Oh, this set that's being reprinted, the evidence of that has been completely missing. And the plausible explanations have been very clearly pointing towards. All right, now I know that the price thing I'm looking at is bupkis, because that Apple card that I was talking about being kind of fun is listed at like $4.50, which cannot be true. Wow, where did it go? You guys remember that card? I must have moved it over here, maybe. All right, tell me I'm not hallucinating. There was an Apple card. So I think what I'm looking at is actually like not like a sort of a list of market prices, but just a listing of cards for individual cards for sale by one vendor. It's a TCG Republic, so I think it's just an online store that sells individual cards, and they must just charge $4.50 for like a common or something. But where the hell is this Apple card, you guys? I swear I didn't pull it that long ago, but there, that one. I noticed the little rarity symbols are a bit different. That says C. I don't know. I will sleeve this one just in case it has any actual value. But I again, I actually see a bunch of base cards they have listed at $4.50, and they must just have like, yeah, basically all the base cards they have are listed at $1.50, so or $4.50. So I'm not even gonna sleeve that because I just know for sure it's not worth it. But yeah, I imagine the market price for everything, where I've been saying it's a $7 card, is probably something like a third of that or something like that. But I may look up some of them to see, like, what they sell for on eBay or something like that, or I don't know where else I can look actually, because the TCG Player does not list Japanese cards. So anyways, that alleged reprint of this popular set called Paldea Evolved is the big Pokemon news of the day. And then I guess the big news in Magic the Gathering is apparently there's like some sort of committee or I don't know, body of people that make decisions about like gameplay for a particular, I think, like kind of game that you can play with Magic. And so those people like will, issue rules for how how the game proceeds, and so they determine which Magic cards are legal to use and which are not legal, and they apparently made a bunch of very popular and valuable cards illegal to use yesterday, so then those cards have like no value. That's cool looking. And a lot of people were super like pissed off about this because like there was cards that were like $80 cards that after they made this announcement they're like $1 because you can't use them anymore in Magic more than I think any other TCG. Well, maybe not any other, but certainly more than Pokemon. A card can derive its value from its usefulness in the game that is played, the actual Magic game. I'm not seeing this one on the site that I'm looking at, so I don't know if it's just something they don't have in stock or it's just not valuable, but it looks awesome, so just leave that sucker up, no problem. So that Magic thing was kind of interesting. Speaking of which, I don't know if this was, I don't want to say accidentally, but I got a notice from my distributor that I was getting a bunch of cards, and it's all like TCG stuff, and I think it's all just the newest Flesh and Blood, which is, it's like Magic, right? Flesh and Blood is a game, and they have different sets that come out. for it, and I forget what the current one is called, but it just came out, and I don't know, one day I was getting like silly, and I put some pre-orders in on it, and those came in, and then I also got some play booster boxes of the newest Magic set that just came out. That's called, oh, what's it called? Is it Dark something? Dark Morn, is that it? I don't know. The newest Magic set is like it's a horror themed set. It's cool looking, but probably no value. So anyways, I don't know what the hell am I, like all these cards, these Magic cards and these Flesh and Blood cards are like $900 total, so I'm like, oh god, what have I done? What have I done? And that stuff, you know, it certainly can go up in value over time, but I feel like it's less likely to than Pokemon stuff. I feel like Pokemon pretty dang religiously goes up over time, no matter what the set, unless it's like the absolute worst set in an era, it's gonna go up, you know, over a 2, 3, 4 year period. But I noticed that my distributor, like, they have Magic the Gathering stuff from like 3 years ago at the wholesale price, you know, so like it actually has gone up a little bit on the market, but that's kind of scary that something can sit at the wholesale price for 3 years, you know, in the Magic world and not go up in value. I mean, that does, oh wow. So, oh man, I don't know, well, again, this site I'm looking at is completely bonkers, but they have this card listed at $77. Oh, it's actually, I think this is like a variation, or like it's like the more common variation of the, yeah. So this is the Lycia's Appeal, SR. I forget what that stands for, something rare, special rare, and then there's a version of this that's a different picture, and it's called the SAR, which I think is special art rare, which I think that maybe is alternative. It's like an alt art, so what they call it, I believe. That one is like super expensive. That's like over $100. This one is probably like $20 or $30. But again, on the site I'm looking at, it's listed at like $77. But again, I think that's about like, I don't know, that's like probably 3x the actual market value. So I will be looking up the price on that one to see kind of where it's actually at. But I mean, I think it's one of the better cards in the set, so I'm super happy to have it. Alright, can we get one? Oh, we can. We can get one more cool card. This also is so this is the, let's say, RR. Huh. I don't know what the first R, but I assume the second R is rare. This is another one. So this is listed at $8 on the site. It's probably like a $3 card, but like there's a alt art of this character, and that is like also one of the top 3 most valuable cards in the set. So I think I did really well. I mean, it's possible, guys, that I made my $45 back. I mean, how often can you say that about a box of cards in this day and age? I mean, if you're talking sports cards, you can pretty much never say that. I mean, unless you get a really big hit. So man, I don't know. I'm pretty psyched. So that one I think is pretty valuable. This one is not so much valuable. That one I couldn't even like find. I think this one was kind of yeah, I think the rest of these are both basically like $7 on, you know, this site I'm looking at, which means they're probably worth like $2. Yeah. So I think maybe this is the most valuable by far, and this one is the second most valuable, and everything else is probably like $1 or $2 or something like that. But alright, I am going to get fail because I'm not quite sure I'm going to search them. I guess I'm going to go figure out their name. Alright, 1 second. Alright, folks, here we are with the card looking up setup. Alright, I gotta go remind myself what this guy was called. Latius EX. Let's see what we get here. Okay, he has other cards in, I think, oh no, that is Paradise Dragona. Interesting, so he has well, there's the card, $1.69 with free shipping. So this card is worth about 40 cents because shipping is about $1 when you ship single cards. So that's highly disappointing. Highly disappointing on that one. Again, that was listed at $8, so the multiplier may actually be like, or the denominator, the divider of prices that I saw listed on this site might be like divide by 10 and then you get your price. So this what was their name again? Something with an L. It sounded like Alicia's. What was it? Appeal. What a strange name for a card, but Alicia's Appeal. Japanese. Okay, so there is the one. So that's the, I think, the really valuable one over here. Now we do want to be looking at sold here, since I don't feel like we need to look at the sold for. So wow, look at this guy. So this is the one I have. It's $53 shipped. Sold earlier today. This one was listed at $59.99. Wow, and that the alt art, I think that one's called, selling for $218. God dang. Wow. So if I had any sense whatsoever, I would get this thing sold, unless I was going to grade it, maybe. So I might take a quick peek at it and see if it's possibly worth grading. But if not, you know, I feel like, as with sports cards, you know, when things just come out, they're always kind of jacked up at the beginning, and then they fall pretty significantly over the course of, you know, a few weeks or a month or two. So this one might be dropping fast, but it does look pretty nice centering wise, I have to say. So I don't know what I'll do with that. So I'll probably, like, you know, just exist in a state of analysis paralysis for a good 3 months. It will drop, you know, 80% in value, and then I'll sit and look at it every day, wishing I'd sold it 3 months before. I think that's it. That's what's going to happen. All right, guys. You have a great one. Hope you enjoyed. I don't know. I might open more and more of those boxes. See what the heck's going on. This Japanese Pokemon stuff, but I don't know. That was fun, and I made my money back for sure on this. So